Hey, what's up everybody? It's Jason. I am back with another video and another collection update. This is all stuff I picked up recently here in Toronto. I did not actually go to rotate this on this trip or this particular week, but I did stop at my other favorite record shop in Toronto. I should say two favorite record shops in Toronto, Sonic Boom, as always, and also BMV, which is really good for a lot of deals and used CDs, etc. So I'll kick things off with the one CD actually I'm going to show before I get into the vinyl. I got an old school classic by the Smashing Pumpkins out of Chicago. This is the Gish album on Caroline Records. An older pressing, I think, of the CD, Canadian pressing of it, and produced by Butch Vig, of course, and Billy Corgan. I think they regrouped recently. I don't know if they're doing some touring and such. They did play one time in Ottawa, and I think I caught some of that set. It was an outdoor festival thing. So anyway, not a huge fan of Smashing Pumpkins, as you can tell. I'm usually more of a greatest hits kind of guy, but I saw this one pretty cheap and decided to pick it up. So that is one of today's stack. Now let's get into the vinyl. I've got a whole mix here of jazz, electronic, techno, some 80s rock as well, or 80s pop. So we'll just dive into it. Some obscure stuff maybe, but all classic stuff, all gems, including this one. This was a nice pickup for only 25 bucks. Used copy, but very minty. Reissue, of course. Black Jazz label from the 70s. This was a key release in there. This is Calvin Key's Shaunique album. One of a couple records I think he did on that label. He just actually passed away not long ago in 2024, well, this year, in April. And jazz guitarist, obviously, originally from Omaha, Nebraska, found his way over to the West Coast, LA, Oakland area as well, and signed to the label. So, yeah, just really cool, smooth jazz. I was actually playing a little bit of it in the background earlier. Cool album, I couldn't pass it up. This was a 2021 reissue on Real Gone Music. They've been doing all the black jazz reissues. So probably the most priciest one of the bunch I'm going to show you for 25 bucks, but it was definitely one that I hadn't heard before. I was like listening to it on my headphones while I was in the shop. And the more I listened to it, the more I knew I had to pick it up. It's only the second black jazz record I've picked up now on that label. I got one not long ago, I think at the same shop actually, at Sonic Boom. So another Sonic Boom pickup. I think all these vinyl were at Sonic Boom. And actually I did some trading again, so I didn't actually pay for some of these. It was just straight up trades. This was something totally new for me. A bit of a blind buy. Jerry Reed. The artist's name is actually, I think, Jerry with a J. But it goes under different pseudonyms. UK-based electronic artist. This is a really cool record. It's a double vinyl, full-length album, 4 sides, loads of cool tracks, a lot of IDM, just a variety of really cool electronic styles, from abstract house to some more, a couple down-tempo kind of things as well, some lo-fi stuff, just kind of all over the place. This is from 2012 on Fourth Wave. Kind of reminds me of an album that I would make, actually, if I was producing still some electronic music digitally or whatever. I just like the variety of it on here. Definitely some good standout tracks on here. Not that I can name them, but from only listening a couple times. But saw it in the bins for 10 bucks, looked it up quickly, and was like, yep, I think I'll pick that up. This next one is actually surprisingly was on my want list already. This is GD Lux. You see that? Artist out of Vienna, but releasing a lot of stuff on this Detroit label, Interdimensional Transmissions, I believe it's called. Electro label started out by Ectomorph, I think back in the 2000s. This is from the 2000s. 2004 maybe? Or maybe 90s, 1999. Yeah, there you go. So maybe the label's a little longer than that. This is IT12, so this is 12th release on the label. Reason why I recognize JD Lux, I have bought a CD Really nice electro tinged CD album called The 21st Door, I think. This is the 20th Door. So it's obviously some tracks, I think, from that same album. But yeah, really quality stuff. A little bit dark and moody, but electro fused. GD Lux. I think his real name is, right down here, Gerhard Patuzer. Probably butchering that name, but anyway, from Vienna. Cool stuff. That was only $5, so, and it was actually on my want list, which is kind of neat when you walk into a shop and there's something just sitting in the bin that's from your want list. Next one, I'll take it out of the sleeve. Some old school, if you will, 2000s, maybe not late 90s, 2000s. This is Tiger Stripes. Of course, he's pretty legendary. Deep house producer from Sweden. Very good quality stuff. He's on the US label here, Large, out of New York. Does a lot of really great deep house. In this one, he's collaborating with Kerry Chandler, so you don't get deeper than that, pretty much. Kerry Chandler of Jersey. Just classic, very minimalist, but deep and heavy beats and grooves that go on for days. Kind of hook you. Again, it was kind of a cheap thing, $6. Didn't actually have this one, the Rain Song, but I was familiar with it from some compilations and some mixes. Also on the deep house tip, I was just sort of digging through the 12-inch section at Sonic Boom the other day, digging through the crates. Picked up DJ Spinna. New York house legend as well. He's produced all kinds of variety of styles too, like from jazz to some hip-hop stuff as well. This one's called Deep Rooted, and this is on the Night Grooves King label. Pretty good one. So again, $6 pickup. It's got a main pass, original dub, dub, and beats versions of the song. Sounds kind of fun. Now this might have been one of the more expensive ones too, just shy of that $25 one earlier, but reissue vinyl here. Originally this came out in the 90s, so 1995 EP called Disco Revisited, but it's actually Terrence Parker out of Detroit. Crab Legs EP. I never had this. I have had some stuff on Terrence Parker's label Intangible before, and back in the day, used to get it through Intelenet, Plus 8, Richie Houghton, John Acquaviva's distro. And this is just straight up disco edits, really fun stuff. Tonight's the Night, When Love's the Feeling, Gonna Rock You All Night. So you can kind of guess that's some of the original tracks from those titles. It was a little pricey, $23, but I guess that's what a single is going for these days, a brand new one. So like I said, this is a fairly recent reissue, I think like 2020 or 2021, and originally came out in 95. Terrence Parker's a cool DJ. I've seen him spin a couple of times, I think in Montreal and also in Windsor, which is right across the border from Detroit. Kind of known for doing a lot of disco house beats, and also for DJing with a telephone as his headphone. So it's kind of a unique feature back in the day. This next one is a total blind buy as well. Had to look it up quickly on the phone. Novidad Voria. Excellent track. The band is Novidad. They were like a funk, early 90s funk boogie, early house group out of South Africa. And I think they're singing in Portuguese maybe on this one, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, originally released on Tusk Music out of South Africa in 1990. And you get the house mix and the clubhouse mix. Pretty cool. Kind of reminds me of the IEA single I bought earlier in the year. Just sort of some world beat kind of infused house. Yeah, pretty cool. Kind of a little bit of a lo-fi production on this jam, but cool stuff. Should fit well in the DJ sets. This one was like $17, like new reissue. Next, we have an old school record. This is not a reissue. This is 12-inch. Again, now this is something I got actually at BMV, another shop in Toronto. This one was kind of the confused record that I picked up because I got it confused with another label. Basically, this is on the cheap label. You can see it in there. Label out of Vienna, but I was kind of confusing with Cheap Knob Gags, which is a UK based label. Same era, kind of the same design of their sleeves or their record labels. So kind of got me confused a little bit. But anyway, the artist is actually from Sweden, and probably gonna butcher the names. Or am I? No, it's right here. Sluttaletta. There you go, Sluttaletta. Swedish production company doing sort of tech house, kind of minimalist and a little bit abstract. A little bit glitch as well. Probably maybe a little more glitch than I was hoping or expecting. See, I was thinking it was a Cheap Knob Gags label, which was more of a disco kind of infused house, sort of disco filter style, almost like a French filter style. This is not that at all. This is more like early 2000s style glitch, tech house, minimalist. And the EP actually came out, I think, in maybe the 90s. Yeah, 1998. So 98 release on the cheap label out of Vienna. This is a label everybody knows, or I'm well familiar with. Compact, of course, out of Cologne. The label was so successful, had so many damn releases that they did sub-labels, etc. So they had the Compact Extra and all these Speicher 3, which my German is failing me, but I think that's like Weekend or something. I'd have to look it up again. Track is called, 2 tracks, got Korn and Roxy, and this is basically the Voigt brothers, Wolfgang and Reinhard Voigt, and third release on this Extra sub-label. Like I said, the logo. Great minimal techno label over the years out of Cologne, Germany. Started around 2000, maybe 1999, and really dominated the sound and the scene for a few years. It's gotten much more progressive, a lot more vocals, etc. over the years. Well known for their ambient compilations, the Total series from Compact as well. And why am I telling you all that stuff? Because these guys are sort of the founders of the label as well, the Voigt brothers. So Wolfgang Voigt, who also does a lot of other side projects that people may know, and Reinhard Voigt does a little bit more on the harder sort of stomping techno, jacking, if you will. This is in that kind of ilk. Pretty cool minimal techno with a dance floor oomph. Now this was a total blind buy as well. I mean, I know the label Defected is a very big label out of the UK for dance music, club music. Usually a little bit leaning towards the cheesier side of things, remixes, etc. This one's not too bad. This is a tech house. They labeled it as tech house. It's pretty big room stuff, clubhouse, if you will. Pasta Boys, which is a trio of Italian DJs. So they're playing a little bit with their name there. And this one's called Limit Body Resonance is the B-side. And yeah, just a fun dance floor single that leans a little bit towards tech house, but I think it's got some vocal as well. And last but not least, picked up a double copy. I'm still on my doubles, but for $5 I couldn't pass it up. Old School Fix. Been kind of digging into their catalog again a lot. Really dig their first album. This is like more like the third or fourth, but this has maybe their biggest hit. One thing leads to another. Don't sleep on the Fix if you haven't heard them. Really great 80s new wave pop. I think they were from the UK. I don't remember them too much other than that one track, but over the years, see the records in the bins a lot. Decided to pick them up, and pretty fun listen. So there you go, guys. That is my update of some recent finds in Toronto, and I will be back soon with more stuff.